What's going on, guys? Bexio back, and today we got a brand new video with plug power and the chart shaping up pretty nicely with some things going on, as well as the Inflation Reduction Act maybe having a pretty positive impact for plug moving forward in the even short, medium, and long term. It's kind of crazy all the money being thrown around there, and plug could be a big beneficiary of that happening. But just looking directly at plug's price chart, we can see that we had this massive run up here from all the way down here from $17 all the way up to $31, just around there. Had this massive rally very quickly happened to this move up, and now starting to move down a little bit. We tried getting up, we were up here for a day, coming back down, pretty much bounced off of it down here, tried to stay above, but ultimately the market just overall, you can see here lots of red from Friday, lots of just downward moves in the market. There was a lot of options expiring, and that just moves the market. So we saw a little bit of weakness. Overall market was enough to keep plug from staying above here. It tried pretty hard, but ultimately right now we are in the red channel here that we had seen before, where it's been a massive kind of time sink where we stood in here for a long time, fought the top, was supported on the bottom, and ultimately had a big move up. But right now, it's a little bit different because if you look recently, we've had a quick move down to a quick move up to a quick move down to right now, again, a quick move up. So we've been kind of slashing through this channel recently and not really spending time trying to fight the bottom or support it or trying to fight the top. So it's been just really quick moves. It wouldn't be surprising to see a move down to this like 23 area, 23, $22. This is like the bottom here. It wouldn't be absolutely ridiculous to see that, especially if the market keeps up in the way that it has with a little bit of weakness. We can even look at the S&P 500. It's found that these kind of rallies, and we've had the days where it starts to come down a bit, and we see this kind of curling around here. So we'll see if the overall market gets into a better spot and continues moving up, or if it stays kind of sideways. Plug would probably be able to stay pretty easily in this red channel in the top section of it. If the market goes sideways, the market goes down, easy move to like $22, $23. And obviously, if the market goes up, plug will probably have a pretty quick move, maybe even up to this $46, $47. Even if we look at this here, you can kind of see inverse head and shoulders, this left shoulder, right shoulder, and the head. It's not perfect. This top is a little bit over $32. This is around 31, so it's not exactly perfect. Kind of maybe shaping up there, but some things that could play out. Just we could have a quick move up if the market is good to maybe even this $46, maybe even a quick move up to like $38 in the bottom line here. If the market is sideways, I think we probably spend time fighting the top here and trying to break through and maybe trying to flip this into support to try and move higher. And if the market is red, then a move down to $22 would not surprise anyone. So a lot depending on the overall market. It's just kind of how things are going right now. There's the big sentiment is it a bear market rally that we just had? Are we coming off of that? Are we going lower? What's going on? Kind of a lot of people looking at that, trying to decipher it. So with this much uncertainty, it's just not good for plug stock, or any stocks like plug, or that are riskier stocks that have more risk to them. Because if the market starts moving down and people start getting more worried, then we could see, the risk stocks start to suffer more than something like an Apple or Microsoft for the big blue chips. But with the Inflation Reduction Act, we do have a pretty big thing moving in favor of plug, and something that's going to be able to help them as a company try and move forward, get to profitability, and just start to kind of move forward as a company. You see right here, the IRA contains clean energy tax credits and clean energy investments worth $369 billion. The bill targets to reduce greenhouse gas emissions in the U.S. by 40% by from the 2005 levels by 2030. So, Plug, obviously a green energy company, something that would massively benefit from these types of investments. And $369 billion worth of investments is a ton of money. That is something that could, obviously, it's not all going to go to Plug, it's going to go across an industry, across hydrogen, across EVs, and all this types of stuff. But it's still a large amount of money that could find its way to Plug to help it with operations, to continue building out their facilities that they need, and most importantly, get them to profitability way quicker than what they originally thought was possible. Even this right here, you see part of this bill is qualified clean hydrogen producers will be eligible for a tax credit of between 60 cents and $3 per kilogram of clean hydrogen during a 10-year period, beginning on the date such production facilities placed in service through 2033. So, we know Plug Power is not only a hydrogen energy company, but it is green hydrogen. They're using green ways to make the hydrogen, so they could easily qualify for these kinds of credits, qualify for this money, and they are building out their own facilities that are going to produce hydrogen and ship it off to customers and provide kind of like hydrogen fuel. So, with them doing that, this opens up lots of money, $3 per kilogram of them, and they have 3 or 4 facilities that they're opening that are going to be pumping out hydrogen. So that could be a very good way to lower their costs of operation, which is going to make them much more easily scalable and easily to make profitability, which is what everyone's target is for Plug. We all know 2024 is when we're looking at that year. We got to be profitable by then. That was the original goal a couple years ago, and now we're getting pretty close to 2024 here. And with all of these news coming out in this Inflation Reduction Act, there's just a lot going towards Plug's favor. With them, obviously, the biggest person in the space, the biggest hydrogen company in the entire space. They know what they're doing. They're building out their own facilities. They're doing everything in house. They're doing everything kind of their way. And they're going to benefit greatly from this and being able to get those tax credits. You think of a story like Tesla that had lots of tax credits in their play for helping them move forward. And we know Tesla absolutely exploded and blew up. I don't know if Plug's going to blow up like Tesla did exactly, but it's two similar stories where the credits really, really help the company. And Plug is looking towards the long term with their whole business model, which is, I think, a good thing for the company overall, because if you focus short term, that's usually a recipe for disaster. And you can see here Plug Power's production expansion plans in Georgia, Louisiana, New York, and Belgium will cost the company short term profits. However, the company is doing the right thing by unwaveringly focusing on the long term opportunity. I think that is important. They're going long term, that they aren't going to be relied on someone else making hydrogen. They're going to do it themselves. They're going to supply it. They can make the fuel cells too, so they can have tons of control over the production and just offer everything that you would need to customers. And that could be people making hydrogen cars. That could be, you know, people like Walmart and Amazon, the warehouses and kind of forklift stuff that they've been their main business for a while now. And now long term is where obviously the big growth is going to happen. And here too, see Plug Power is increasingly becoming investable despite cost pressures. This is this analyst or this person who wrote this article's kind of thoughts on it, saying, despite cost pressures, I believe the company is much more attractive today than it was last January. With a strategy focused on long-term results, Plug Power is headed in the right direction to dominate a niche market in the energy sector that could soon prove to be a market with a multi-billion-dollar opportunity. Completely agree. I think this alternate energy, we've seen the problems coming up with kind of energy right now in Europe, and the problems depending on one place and one country and oil and all this stuff. And a big move away from oil and towards green energy just means that Plug could be a company to massively benefit from these moves, because that's exactly what they're doing, is producing green energy. So ultimately, Plug looking like it's going in the right direction long term. Fundamentally still pretty good. They have a pretty strong balance sheet to should get them to 2024. to their profitability. That is the next target day, is becoming profitable, seeing them do that and actually play it out. That's going to be pretty important. So that's the next big milestone. Looks like they're on their way to do it. And this new Inflation Reduction Act seems like could push a lot of money towards them and make it a lot easier for them to achieve their goal to become profitable. That's going to do it for this video, guys. As always, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe on the road to 1,000 subscribers. I'll see you guys in my next video.